Hey everyone, welcome back to the Opportunity Architect. For today, I plan to kick off a little daily update series, and I want to start off with a confession. So I spent weeks now building my AI Chief of Staff with the Google Agent Development Kit, and while it's powerful, I think I've hit a wall. I created an architecture that is slow, clunky, and feels over-engineered. In this update, I'll show you guys what I mean, and then perhaps we can find a better path forward. So the core issue is the response time. We have our Streamlit client application sending the prompt and the function definitions to Gemini, and then Gemini decides how to respond. So this can either be a basic text response, or a function call. And if it's a function call, we have to parse the response and execute the function in the backend. The main issue is here. So after the function is successfully executed, the ADK makes another LLM call with the result of the function call, and then Gemini decides what to respond. So either a basic text response or another function call. So you might already see the issue here. One issue is that we have two LLM calls, with the second one potentially being redundant. And the other issue is that this is potentially an infinite loop, so when Gemini is not happy with the result, it could potentially call the same function over and over again. And this is exactly what I've seen happening, so I've seen it calling the same function hundreds of times, for random reasons, and it led to unexpected costs. So in a nutshell, this whole agent flow is non-deterministic. Okay, and to give you guys an example, we can look at this ADK interaction. So here we can see I asked what are my open tasks. Then the router agent decided to execute this tool call with the argument to list all open tasks, and then we got a response with all the open tasks. But then it didn't just return these tasks here, but rather send it back to the Gemini LLM to formulate a human-readable response. So we can also see this here in the trace. First, the router agent has been called to list all open tasks, and which took around 1.2 seconds. Then this tool call was executed by the backend, and here we got the tool response with all the open tasks. And then the LLM was called again, which took 1.4 seconds, and it returned a human-readable response. So in total, it took us around 3 seconds. Luckily, we didn't have infinite looping, but was the second LLM call really necessary? And for comparison, if we do the tool call with the GenAI SDK only, it's much faster. So we can see this in the logs. We sent the request to the LLM at 13:43:07, and we got a response just 1.2 seconds afterwards. And for the simple function calls, maybe it makes sense to call the LLM only once. Also, what I realized when we make the function call with the GenAI SDK directly is that we only need one database call in the backend, because the logic for calling Gemini sits directly on our Streamlit app. But instead, if we make the call via the ADK, we not only have to refresh the Streamlit app state from the database, but also update the ADK agent memory with an after-tool callback. So effectively, we have two database update calls, one for our Streamlit frontend and one for the ADK backend, which seems a bit ineffective and redundant. So this makes me wonder, am I using the wrong pattern? Or is the ADK better suited for asynchronous backend agent-to-agent communication rather than for real-time chat sessions? And this is where I need your feedback. How are you tackling these challenges? Did you also have your agent call the same functions over and over again in an infinite loop? How do you manage the latency in agentic apps? Is the compulsory second LLM call an intrinsic design flaw? Also, is there a better pattern to synchronize the agent memory with the frontend UI? Let's figure this out together. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 2. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Leave a like and subscribe, and goodbye.